Alright man, the time is now. Let's get into the best underrated champions of the current patch for each role, including some counter picks for the current meta gods. Starting off in top lane, we have Na, which I hate because my accent prohibits me from pronouncing the letter A, so apologies for that in advance. With Aurora running rampant in top lane, it is no wonder she is a pick and ban right now in high elo with her kit countering most melee champions top. Na has found a way to abuse her top by outranging her, and when you hit Mega Na, you actually can choose to all in when you see fit. The Na ulti in Aurora ult is also a pretty funny interaction, as you can throw her into the wall and she teleports to the other side of the fight. The trick to winning this lane comes in 3 stages. Step 1 is baiting out Aurora Q and then aggressing with your autos and your Q. It is honestly just a battle of the Q skill shot, and whoever lands theirs better wins. Stage 2 is when you get boots. In both sides of these matchups, it's really up to the boot completion for who gets the first lead. For you as now, you want Merc Treads while Aurora wants Steel Caps. And so, where is the counter in all of this? Well, Aurora wants to rush Rod of Ages, so if you are forcing her to rush boots, you are delaying her spike, and if she commits to rushing Rod, then you can use the defense advantage for better treads. The third stage is when you can outstat check Aurora, and once you have the ability to simply E in and auto her to death, the lane has been pretty much won. For a general underrated champion, Kennen is not nearly picked enough for the counter capabilities he has top lane. We mentioned this little guy in the past as an OP pick, yet even now his pick rate is still near to 3%. With a meta that revolves around ranged tops or melee top laners who want to all in, then a little lightning rat with mobility and CC might just be the way to go. Kennen has actually been a very solid blind pick as well, as long as you ban Dr. Mundo, as Munde and Zac Top are the 2 hardest counters, but since Zac Top hasn't been picked for a while now, it is safe to just ban the Mundo. The secret to making Kennen work in any matchup is very simple. Be aggressive, but don't overforce as you are squishy. Making the most of your autos and Q poke until you have Sork Shoes is the main goal of the lane phase. Once you get to tier 2 boots, you basically win most lanes, as the movement speed of tier 2 boots with your E means that you can escape most ganks and kite just about any enemy. The increase in magic pen works beautifully with your Q, as the base damage is quite high, and that is all there is to it. Kennen has few counters while also being able to counter the most top champions in the game right now. And hey man, if you're looking to master Kennen, or any champion really that we're covering on this happy little list, then make sure to sign up to GameLeap.com via the link down below at the top of the video description, man. Signing up to GameLeap unlocks access to hundreds of guides and courses, all authored by challenger coaches, and are guaranteed to pump your rank up to the next level. So sign up with the discount link down below, and we'll see you over there. Next up, Galio has taken center stage for mid as his tanky AP hybrid build rose in popularity. Seeing Galio's rush Hollow Radiance into Riftmaker was definitely not on our bingo cards for this season, yet here it is. The reason behind it is simply because of Galio's base damage numbers. Galio's champ design revolves around being able to one-shot waves into roaming, and his weakness is his ranged vulnerability. This is where Hollow Radiance can counter the AP mids that try to poke you out. On a full combo, you can actually almost half HP is squishy without a single AP item yet, which is just pretty mental. The Riftmaker is so that you can take prolonged fights as Galio. You're a tank at the end of the day, so being able to frontline for your team and proc Riftmaker from your Hollow Radiance makes for a high amount of sustain and tankiness, meaning you deal damage, you are well statted from damage, and you heal from the damage that you deal. It's actually quite hard to find a weakness in this new method of building Galio, but it works and is still not heavily picked up, so try it out if you want some underrated LP. Another underrated mid laner is Fizz. The Fish Demon is back yet again, and while we are recommending it, for a time we weren't even sure how this guy was suddenly so strong all over again. It seemed like the meta did not favor him until you look around and then realize that ADCs are kind of everywhere. ADCs are being played top, mid, ADC, and sometimes even as supports. This led us to realizing Fizz is perfect at taking down the squishies and snowballing. There is a condition, however. If you are playing in Master Tier or below, we recommend taking Ignite as your secondary summoner spell. In lower elos, players are bound to make very risky mistakes that you can capitalize on with a full combo plus Ignite. So you might ask, what is then the difference for high elo play? In higher elos, the mistakes enemies make will not really be through lane phase. Most of your opponents will already be familiar with your kit, so taking TP and playing around roam timers and your jungler is key to winning instead. There is one consistent goal to reach, however, for both playstyles. You need to not fall behind. Falling behind on Fizz can be brutal, as if you cannot one-shot your opponent with a full combo, you will end up losing more often than not, and there won't be much room for you to come back. Fizz at the end of the day is a high-risk, high-reward champion, but the odds are in your favor. Give lane pressure up at level 1 and 2, and once you ding level 3, it is time to fight, and you can win most trades into an all-in. Now, the current state of ADC is a little bit of a mess right now, as each patch ADC items are getting nerfed, and therefore so are the champions. So here's a quick drop for underrated ADCs that you should play right now: Jhin, Ashe, and Miss Fortune. While these champions may not be seen as underrated, we feel the player base currently has yet to understand why these champions are busted in the current game state, and the reason is the lack of utility around the map elsewhere. With AP junglers running the jungle, they lack consistent forms of hard CC such as Zyra and Brand, but they do build Rylai's, and that slow can assist you in landing your utility abilities. Jhin is still meta due to his good usage of Static Shiv. Being able to wave clear and be a backline utility bot will never not be good. Ashe is good simply because she can mesh well with any support, and she lets you play lane aggressively, which many ADCs are not allowed to do these days. And MF is just beyond broken, with none of her items being nerfed and that W change not being touched up on. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that is the current state of the ADC role right now. If you want to be a hard carry player, then sorry boys, gonna have to wait a month or two until Riot is done annihilating the role. Support has only one underrated champion, and that is Braum. Braum counters all of the big bad engage boys of the bot lane, and while he does get outscaled by enchanters, his utility he provides to his team outweighs the scaling enchanters, as ADCs are quite weak right now unless they are solo laners. A Lulu or Nami with a Jhin, Ashe or MF isn't as strong as they would be paired with hyper carries. Braum also has a lot of value in his E, being able to soak Jhin ults, Ashe ults, and MF ults. This is truly his meta to shine, as long as the map stays stable for you to move out of lane and shield your other allies. Other than Braum, there are not many other underrated supports. And in the jungle, while he is popular right now, we still feel like he's underrated, as he sits at only a 4% pick rate, and that is Udyr. With the ability to be blind pickable, can flex between AP and AD, and can be flexed to top if you wish to switch, means that you have so much control even in champ select. The reason Udyr isn't picked as much recently is because he is viewed as boring, but we feel like he's actually far from it. The initial early game of Udyr is a little bit tedious, as all you ideally want to do is get level 4 by full clearing, but once you get your first base, you can start looking for a fight to get a lead, whether that's brawling with the enemy laners or enemy jungler. Your empowered abilities are one of the most busted mechanics in the game. An empowered R means the enemy cannot outrun you for the duration of the storm. An empowered Q means you can basically one-shot someone if you can stun them with E first. Udyr should not be underrated, because in all honesty, he is impossible to kill once a lead has been secured. And yeah, you should play him. That's Udyr. Another insanely underrated jungler is Ivern, and with mid laners being so aggressive, it is a wonder why Ivern's pick rate isn't above 2%, which is ludicrous. But what brings Ivern back now more than ever is the support meta of Leona being the queen of it all. With an engaged support that has multiple CC layers, Ivern loves to pair alongside that, as the CC allows him to easily land his Q, and with Leona's sticking capabilities to the enemy, it means easy shield damage and slows to whittle enemies down to their deaths. At the end of the day, Ivern is quite simple as long as you watch a few guides on how to clear and how to read the map, and that is really the key to being a good Ivern. If you can read the map and play proper macro, you will skyrocket in LP with the Tree Man. And hey man, that's all for this one. Make sure to plop down in the comments down below any underrated champs that you feel like we are sleeping on over here at GameLeap that you've been blasting in the current patch for some easy wins. And hey, while you're down there, why not sign up to goodoldgameleap.com and unlock your access to our entire library of Challenger-authored guides and courses. Click on the link in the description box to sign up, and we'll see you over there. Alright, thanks for watching guys. I'm going to catch all of y'all in the next one.